Hello, welcome to Cat Studio. Today we're working on a rope basket with a cute little peekaboo handle, just one handle. Let's get started with our supplies. Today I'm using my 5/16 cotton braided rope, and it's braided all the way through the center. It's a very luscious rope I get from Knot and Rope Supply, and it's an online store where I get it from. And I have a size 18. I think I changed to an 18 needle for this rope. It's a little bit thicker of a rope than the clothesline rope. I have some thread ready. I have my bobbins all set to go, and I like to have a few ready so that when I run out, I don't have to take the machine apart and thread bobbins. So let's get started with the first thing we're going to do is coil our rope. And I like to do that like so. I just turn it and try and tuck those frays in, but I'm trying not to go too tightly because the sewing machine doesn't like to try and go through the rope when it's coiled super tight. So just, by hand, don't pull it super tight. So then I just coil it around so that where I started coiling is where I'm stopping. So you can see that coil is right here where I started turning. So I'm going to go into my machine. I'm going to go across the center here with a satin stitch, which my settings on my machine are a 7, and this is the zigzag stitch, a 7, and the F. So that is, I think I can go even tighter with that. That's the length. The width of the zigzag is the 7. So I'm going to go through and do that stitch across. I'll probably do a lot of back stitching just to make sure I'm, getting everything. And also I like to put in the back just an extra piece of rope, slide that through. I'm trying not to let go of my coil while I do this, to the back, so that my presser foot is held up slightly so that when I put this in, I can start right at that edge there with my stitching. So I'm going to start there, go straight across, as close to the center as I can get. Okay, we're all set with that satin stitch. Take this in the machine where this is where we started coiling. Right here it points to the back of the machine. We started coiling around this way. So we're going to start zigzagging. And sometimes it's kind of hard to see where that's at because you've got those frays going on in there. But I know where it is. So let's get started sewing that. And we'll zigzag at a 2 length to start, and then we will switch that to a 2.5 in a few minutes. And all the while I'm turning and trying to turn this slowly as I go. And I need to readjust. Don't be afraid to just lift it right out, readjust it, get it in the right spot. It's only a 1/16 of an inch off, I think. And continue sewing. There are 2 sides of your rope together. Okay, now I'm going to change that out, stitch length to a 2.5 now. Maybe I'd pinch over and then continue sewing, and that's the stitch I will use, the 2.5 length for the rest of the basket. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pin in where we began sewing. We began sewing right here. So my pin needs to point towards that because this is the area right here where I want to start and stop everything when I angle and when I end the basket. So because that way we'll be even on all sides. So I continue sewing this until I reach about 6.5, 7 inches. Now that we have the base of our basket about 6.5, 7 inches, you could go any width that you like that is at least 7 inches. For my machine, it needs to reach up to the top of the machine. So as we add the sides, it will build it out a little bit because it will give it a rounded bottom instead of looking like a bowl. So what we're going to do is do the angling at this point. I don't go straight up to a 45 because that angle on the bowl, on the basket, makes it look like a bowl where it doesn't have that rounded, almost flush, or it has a smoother transition when you do the slight lifts, I've noticed. So what I do is a slight lift and then another lift and then at the 45. That's what I'm doing today. And once I get to the 45, I will sew it out about 2.5 to 3 inches. So let's time lapse that and meet you back here when we get about 3.5 inches up the side, and we'll put the peekaboo handle on. Okay, we're ready to put our peekaboo handle on now. I am at the beginning of my basket and I put the pin on the outside at this point so I can just peek back there and see where I'm at. So that's right where I want to start the handle, and we're going to change that back to an F for our satin stitch quickly, just in this spot. And I'm going to take that out of the machine. And then we're going to mark where we want our handle to be. So now I'll take that out of the machine. Trim those threads off. And then we'll take our tape measure and measure over for this basket in particular. Let's see it measures about 8 inches across. I think we're going to go with a 4-inch handle on this basket. Just a guesstimation. I mean, it could be any size you want, but I think 4 inches is good for my hand. Is about 3.5 inches just to grab in there. So let's go 4. So go from our satin stitch over 4 inches. And put a pin there and leave it there for a moment. So then I go to the sewing machine. Take our basket in there and go past. We're just going to kind of try and slide this in while I just put my finger next to that rope to hold it next to the basket. Can you see that? Like so. Just slide it through. Even that up. Take the pin out. So you can either have your handle be snug up against the basket, or you can slide it down slightly. So that's what we're going to do, a little bit of pulling that through. I'm just going to pull it through. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just pulling it back just a teeny bit. You can see it sticking out just a slight bit. My other two baskets that I did with the peekaboo handle, I didn't pull that out at all. I just let it rest up against the side of the basket as I sewed. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of a straight knotting stitch here. I just find that zigzag stitch doesn't knot well, so then we go over to our zigzag stitch now at an F length again, and a satin stitch here. Then we'll go back to our 2.5 length and continue sewing as we have the whole entire basket. All right, we're coming right up to our satin stitch in 1 second. Our first satin stitch, and we just continue sewing alongside that handle. I like to go a little bit slower here and keep that loose. And then we'll just continue sewing all the way until we get to that satin stitch again, and we'll end our basket. All right, my satin stitch is right here, the first one that we put in. Here's our little handle here. And what I want to do is go up another couple of stitches, and then I will put another satin stitch. Change that stitch length back to an F. Do a satin stitch here as well to end the basket. And then I will do a straight stitch, call me crazy, to knot this, just to make sure that we're knotted here. And that won't show later. It's going to have a tag over it. So let's take that out of the machine and take a little peek at this. Oh, look who came to join us. Hi, Mo. How you doing, buddy? All right, let's take a look at our basket now. It's all complete, and I think it turned out really, really beautiful with our little peekaboo handle, my leather tag, and if you watch how to put tags on your rope basket video that I have, you'll see the links to the supplies I used for that. I actually cut these myself and punched my own holes. So this will be up in the Etsy shop soon. So I hope this was informative enough for you. If you have any questions, leave those in the comment section. Or just stop by and say hi. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Share this out with your friends so they can come in and make some fun stuff. And check out my channel. I have some other fun videos there as well. And y'all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.